So I'm having a couple of hours off today. Just having one of those moments where I'm really tired, and I don't know if it's like interrupted sleep because Pedro's been waking up a lot earlier in the morning, if it's hormonal, if it's just the fact that I haven't had a break for a while, or if there's a bit of me that's just like, oh my gosh, like, do I want to keep working in this way? And it's really easy, I think, in those moments to get into like a whole story and want to like jack the whole thing in. I think it is that actually I'm just tired. Like when you're running your own thing, whether that's like a whole business or in my case a little business with one person, or you're like responsible for like a whole program of work as a leader within a company or another organization, when it's you're kind of holding that level of responsibility, I think it's just really hard to put it down. Like I know work is always difficult for everyone to switch off of, but when it's like a real kind of like passion of yours and you know things just don't happen unless you do them, it is really difficult to switch off. And so, you know, I live this completely idyllic life. You know, I'm out in the New Forest and it is glorious and I love my work and I am thinking about it all the time. And it's been like that now for 4 years, you know, it doesn't really stop. But I'm sure I thought about work all the time as well before. But yeah, I've definitely been having like a few days where I'm just like, oh, you just need to stop for a little bit. Because I know if I stop and I rest, then I find my inspiration again. And then it's really easy to do the work. But I've noticed just trying to get my head in the game to write posts and get ideas together to record videos, or even just go to record videos, that my brain's just so tired. Unless I actually have a load of clear points to follow, it's really difficult for me to do that at the moment. Like I just start waffling on and I don't know where I'm going with things. So yeah, like I just feel this really, there we go, it's this really, really big yawn. Oh gosh. Oh. I've just had a few years now of you know, there's lots of stuff that's been going on in my personal life ever since I started the business. You know, there's my dad died last year, beginning of last year, and he was diagnosed with cancer in like August 2 years ago, and that was really hard. But before then, just when I started the business as well, as I was leaving my old job, I had a whole load of stuff go on within like my personal friendship network. It was so painful. Like I felt a lot worse during that period than I did when Dad was dying, as awful as that was, because it was just a different thing. Like I won't ever go into the details of what happened online, because I care about the people who are involved, and it's just not necessary really to kind of air that sort of thing. There's no need to. But it was this really, really difficult period, and it just felt like there was like a wrecking ball that went through my life at that point. And you know, even like 4 years on, you know, there's a bit of me that just really feels like people who I'd expected to be there in a particular way during this difficult period weren't. And God, it was just so hard. So I think sometimes it just feels like, when I'm tired, it just feels like it's been this real slog for years now. And the thing is, as a coach, you do need to be in decent mental states when you're recording things and when you're reaching out to people and when you're coaching them. And you know, I really, really love what I do, and I love the people that I work with. You know, I hear sometimes people complain about their clients online. I'm like, I work with wonderful people. You can't work with me unless I really like you. So all the people who are in my world are really fab. And it's never felt like an energy drain at all. But it is very different being a boss of one. And yeah, there have been moments when I don't think it is the work. I think life stuff just slightly catches up on me. And it has been a very full year with Pedro, who is now asleep under my chair. I was just thinking this morning after meeting up with his brother and the woman who owns him that, like, my gosh, like what a full-on year to have a puppy. And I desperately needed to get a dog last year. Like I was not in great mental states in the summer. I could really feel myself being very low after Dad. had died and I'd led his funeral, there was this kind of like come down from it. And so it was totally the right decision to get a puppy, because it just got me out of bed every single day and got me out of my own thoughts and kind of I wasn't spiraling, but I was just in a kind of a low place. And because my work's very chilled and I'm not really accountable to anyone apart from like what I've promised my clients, it's very easy to just have a lot of space, which I really needed. But there was a kind of flip side of that, which was just having very low motivation. So yeah, it's just been a really like crazy few years, and I do feel really well. Sometimes I think with like tiredness, maybe actually the tiredness I'm experiencing right now, this is me just thinking out loud, I don't think it is a problem actually. I think probably what it is actually me finally feeling, after years of it being quite tough, finally feeling like, oh, actually, like I'm in a good place, you know. Obviously, like going through everything I did with Dad, like that lives with you. But yeah, now I'm thinking about it, I do wonder actually whether this is just me relaxing. It's a bit like, you know, if you've been working really hard and you have some time off and your whole nervous system just goes like, I wonder if it's just doing that. And instead of second guessing, like, oh my gosh, do I just need to go and like get a job in a cafe and just, you know, have nice chats with people every week and just not have to think too much. Like, I think probably I just need a little bit of rest and reset time. And it probably isn't going to be loads, but just a little bit to kind of tap in with myself again and catch up with some sleep. Because my gosh, Pedro has been getting up super early, like the last couple of weeks. Last week in particular, he was up at like 5 o'clock the other day. I was like, oh my God, man, you don't need to be up this early. But there's something that was going on with his tummy, I think, and he just needed a little bit more. He needed to get out earlier, basically. So I was getting out with a van and he was just like pulling me to get out of the campsite and going to the loo. But yeah, I think he's chilled out now. I'll just show you where he is. There we go. He's under there, little guy. I think everything is okay. Just need a few hours just to chill. I have started doing 12 hours work at the campsite that we're on, working in the shop over the weekend. So I'm doing Friday evenings, Saturday mornings, Saturday evenings and Sunday mornings, and it's lovely. I love the chit chat. Like, it's really nice just to like use a till and stock up things and have someone tell me what to do. Oh my gosh. Just like really, really straightforward things. Bit of me when I have gone into fantasizing about what I would do if I decided to stop coaching, which I'd never considered until like maybe a few weeks ago, and I was like, do I definitely still want to do this? You know, because it's a particular thing, and where my mind's gone with it. And I think this is always interesting, like if you're fantasizing about quitting and doing something else, like where does your mind go? Because it probably just tells you what you need more of in your life right now. So mine went into, I was like, oh, can I just help someone with gardening? So it was basically like outdoors, doing something physical. Working on reception at like some sort of like activity place. So I used to enjoy doing a little bit of bouldering. I haven't done it much at all really, but a few times I've done it, I thought it was great. And there is a bouldering, like a climbing place in Poole. So I was like, oh, maybe I could just go and work there and then do some bouldering in my lunch break. Working in a cafe was the other one. I was like, oh, that could be really, really nice for a bit. I've done bits and bobs of cafe work over the years. And so I think there's just something about giving my brain a break. The irony that is what I also coach people to. So yeah, I think there is that, like actually having space where I'm not thinking about stuff. And on that note, I'm going to stop this video because this is one of the habits I can have. It's like, oh, I'm having a break. I can talk about having a break and turn it into content. I'm like, man, you just need to have a break. So that's what I'm going to do. What's the moral of the story for this one? I think it's that if you're having any kind of fatigue or doubts around things, just watch where your thoughts go and start off with just needing to go back to the basics. Like, actually just have some rest. Like, go and have some naps and catch up on some sleep and have a bit of time just doing the basics and catching up on yourself. The other thing I did today actually that was helpful, so I just wrote a list of everything I've been proud of the last 6 months. So if you can just do all of that, then see how you are afterwards, that's the time when you can start like thinking about, okay, do I need to do something different or change tack, or what do I need to change in my conditions? Because there's some stuff just about how I work is the real issue, really, because I just work in quite an isolated way. But yeah, just do all the basic like resting and regrouping first before you start following any of those thoughts and start taking them too seriously. Because as I've worked out, just even talking to you today, I think probably actually the resting isn't from like, I don't want to do this anymore. I think it's just from my gosh, you've done a really good job the last few years in quite difficult circumstances, and my body is finally feeling okay enough to actually start chilling out, which is a good thing, isn't it? Anyway, lots of love. I'll catch you soon.